9:48, the first plane hits the North Tower. Many at Stuyvesant hear the bang and feel the school tremble. The speeding jet struck the 110-story around floor 102. I got this weird transmission. The strangest transmission in my life, that a plane hit the World Trade Center. And I ran into the computer room to see. The recollection of what I saw is framed in that window. Like if I had to draw the window frame as well, I'm a little apprehensive. Just looking at the banners, I get a little choked up. So I fear. I fear going into the office. I might lose composure. But it's been long enough that maybe I could go into the office and take it in. But I, in a way, I just don't feel ready. I don't. September 11th, 2001 started out like any other Tuesday, but as time went on, there were terrorist attacks on the twin buildings. 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group Al Qaeda hijacked four airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. Almost 3,000 people were killed during 9/11 terrorist attacks, which triggered major U.S. initiatives to combat terrorism and define the presidency of George W. Bush. September 11th, 2001 marked the single greatest loss of life. I was in Mr. Satan's office on the second floor. I went to the window. I looked down. I didn't look up, I didn't look out, I looked down. I saw people running across the courtyard of IS 89. I thought a truck had crashed into the playground. I heard someone yell outside. Then I went onto the bridge and saw the gash in the side of the building and flames coming out. I went back inside and I put the TV on. And they were saying it was a small commuter plane that had crashed into the building. The first reaction was, oh, it's not terrorism. Then the second one hit, and I knew. 9:03 a.m. The second plane hits the South Tower. Many students, facility, and staff see the collision and watch the ensuing fire from the building's south-facing windows. Phone communications have been jammed. I saw this huge plane. It looked much bigger than the first one. It looked like one of those jets, in the movies, like the Air Force One or something. One of those big jets. It was one of those, and it just hit the building right there. 9:50 a.m. The South Tower collapses. Stuyvesant shakes, lights flicker, and television pictures turn to static. The television's antenna on top of the World Trade Center is gone. When it happened, I watched the buildings fall. I was in my house. My wife was on the phone. She woke me up. I work nights, so I was sleeping when it was happening. She woke me up and told me to turn on the TV. And I saw the planes hit. Like, unbelievable. You know what I mean? It was like, I was just saying, it must be a dream. It must be a dream. More like a nightmare, if you ask me. Well, September 11th was also my picture day. So I get up in the morning and I took half an hour fixing my hair. Put on a suit, really uncomfortable dress shoes, big shirt, and I didn't want to carry all my books around, so I thought I'd just leave everything in my locker room. Well, yeah, I just recently got my cell phone, so I was carrying that around the whole day. So I get up in the morning, came to school normal, came to school early, put all my books and all my stuff in the locker. I was only carrying a folder around. I was in my French class when it happened. I swear, I didn't hear anything but my French teacher. My French teacher, who was like 165 years old. She comes in 25 minutes late. Well, she needs to scan our books we need for the year. And she starts, well, I was looking in the office for a scanner, and the chairperson says, well, a plane hit the World Trade Center. And she's, well, okay, I still need the scanner. And he says, no, no, no. Don't you hear what I said about the plane hit the World Trade Center? Well, okay, I still need the scanner. And she comes into class and telling us this. And we all laugh because we don't know what is going on. So we're, okay, the plane hit. I didn't really register. We heard it from her, and okay, she goes on scanning our bugs. So then I walk into physics, which is right after French, and that's when I see the building. That's when I see the smoke, and I'm like, holy shit. That's not that's just not her being delusional. Something pretty bad's going on. And then I felt it. We sat there in physics watching for a while, and one of my friends was going crazy because his parents boarded a plane that morning to go somewhere. They got on the plane at like 7:50 in the morning. It was going crazy. He wasn't sure what plane it was or where it came from. He was really worried about them, and I was telling him there's really no chance of them being on the plane because of all whatever factors. Probably going in another direction. And we just sat there for a while, and we all stared out the window, and we all just numbed, and we saw people running everywhere. And about 20 minutes into the period, the top of the building fell. And then we were we usually we were watching the buildings fall. We were watching it from a distance. I usually don't get afraid easily but I was really afraid. I just felt it. This is really happening. This just happens in bad movies. This isn't happening. This isn't real life. I just got really scared. And one of my friends that sat next to me in physics, her mom works in the World Trade Center. And she was really worried. And I went down to the second floor to try my cell phone to see if it was working so I could call. So I could call wherever she wanted to call, wherever her mom was, to see if she was okay. But the phone weren't working then. And so I left my cell phone in the locker with my book bag and everything else. Funny thing, I had a sandwich that morning, which is also my book bag, which I left in the school for the next however many weeks we were in school, and it was kind of funky when we got back. So we came back and we sat through physics, and so half the building falls, half the period ended, and we went to the homeroom, and I saw my friend, one of my best friends, Julia. She's one of my best friends from freshman year, and she was just shaking, and I just held her, and we were all not saying anything, and we were all just standing thinking oh my god. And some people were hysterical. We started evacuating, and then we saw people crying in the staircases. And I had another friend whose uncle worked in the World Trade Center. And again, I went downstairs to see if my cell phone was working. She was really worried and crying everywhere. You looked, it's like someone had a mother, a father, and it just felt really close to home. And it was scary that you realize you almost lose your mortality. It's right there. What if? What if it was closer?
This girl at the show looked me in the face and told me her life's full of drama. Said that her dad is abusive. Apparently, he likes to beat on her mama. I got so angry inside, I wanted to tell her to give me his number. But what am I going to do with it, right? I'm going to hit him up, then he'll start hitting her harder. That's real. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining hearing these parents. They tell their kids my music is violent. You've got to be kidding me. I guess that your definition of violence and mine is something that we look at differently. Freedom of speech is recognized as a human right under Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The right to freedom of speech allows individuals to express themselves without government interference or regulation. And yet, on any given day, scroll through Reddit and you'll find hate messages towards the popular singer songwriter NF. Recent comments include no drugs, no violence, no guns, only 100% real music, and NF does not provide that. Why are people so threatened by others expressing their truest feelings? Banned speech, banned books, banned songs. Today, I would like to take you down a journey of lyrics that have been banned by popular streaming services in the hopes that you will see the value that someone expressing their hurt and pain can have on those experiencing similar things. Much like some people continue to fight for banned books because they show us history and context, people should fight for lyrics not to be banned because the Constitution states that we the people have the right to free speech, and that should not be hindered by a minority of people disliking the song or what the song conveys. When there is a majority of people that enjoy listening to the music and can relate and use the music as an escape or a type of therapy. And this not only applies to the listeners, but also to the writers, singers, songwriters. And now I bring you Therapy Session by NF. These kids, they come to my shows with tears in their eyes. Imagine someone looking at you and saying your music is the reason that they are alive. I wanted to serve others, meaning people other than me, to let them know that they are so much more than their own disease. But how can I show them this love that I have so eagerly to give? I thought about Army or Doter, and then I thought about band music. Music can wake up the sleepers and make us feel alive. Music can open the eyes of the lost who have been trying so hard to hide. Music can shelter the lonely in a place all on their own. And then music can bring them back all the way home. I mean, I think sometimes people, they confuse what I'm doing. I write about life. I write about things I'm actually dealing with, something I'm actually experiencing. This is real for me. Like, this is something that personally helps me as well. I'm not confused about who gave me the gift. God gave me the gift, and He gave me the ability to do this. And He also gave me this as an outlet. And that's what music is for me. When I feel something, whether it's anger, it's a passion about something, or frustration, like, this is where I go. This is it. That's the whole NF Real music thing, man. This is real for me. I need this. This is a therapy for me.